Hey everyone, Eric here with the Chicago Bears Daily. It's been a while since we've made a video here, but we are back, baby. And you know what feels even longer is this off season. I think we have around 80 something days until the start of the season, which is it can't come soon enough. This feels like after the past few years that we've had where we've been in kind of a downward spiral, this feels like the most exciting start to a season, or at least the most anticipation built up in at least a few years. And probably since that 2018 season, this is the most excitement that we felt coming into a season. And all that excitement, it stems from our new coaching staff, our new regime in total, our new kind of look as a team entirely, our offense to see if that clicks together, our defense to see if that makes a comeback, if it comes back even better. They switched from a 3-2, 3-4, or 4-3 to a 3-4, so we'll see how that looks as well. So all this new kind of change and all the new kind of the new personnel, all these new players, that's where this excitement brews from. We also had 11 draft picks. So this offseason, it's feeling very, 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 it's kind of like I can't wait to get the season started. It's like we're ready for it to get going. And right now, it's all we can do is really be patient, because Justin Fields said it the other day, I think last week, he said that our offense right now is nowhere near ready for game time. And that's obviously a given. I mean, there's no way with a new head coach, a new offensive coordinator, a new wide receiver, a new drafter, all these new guys that are in, clearly we're not going to be ready to go game time by in June. That would be goofy to think about that. So that's just unrealistic. But I myself included, I'm kind of giddy to get this season started, but you can't look back, you can't try to rush the process here. Now these guys, they're putting in work day in and day out, and right now I know these guys have a gap between the mini camp and the actual training camp, the one right before preseason, but I hope these guys are still really, really putting in the work, and I hope they're in the gym, I hope they're on the field, I hope everybody on offense and defense is kind of doing their own thing, getting mentally right, getting physically right, being the guys that we hope they will be in the regular season. And that doesn't come from just getting mentally ready. You have to prep for it. You have to eat good, you have to work out, you have to sleep well. So all of that ties together. So it's a process that comes into getting into the regular season here, but it's almost agonizing because we're all us Bears fans. And on the same note, none of us, I feel like we're not expecting Super Bowl contention. We're not expecting to be the Bengals of last year. That's kind of like you can't be thinking that way. But what we do want to see improvement from last year, which is possible. I think Darnell Mooney actually went on. He took an interview today or yesterday, and he said there's really nowhere to go but up from last year. And he actually praised our coaching staff, our new coaches. He praised Eberflus especially at the fact that he seems to be getting things much more organized, and he's letting the individual coaches do their jobs and coach the team, coach the groups that they're actually meant to coach. But he is the overseer. He's not the guy that is the quarterback guru, the offensive guru. He's not a defensive guru. He's letting our defensive coordinator kind of step in and do his job. But he's kind of overseeing the whole thing, which I think is great to have a head coach that is going to do a little bit of dipping into everything, but he's not going to take over one certain thing and kind of just break it, like ruin it. So it's this excitement has been building. It's going on, and right now, especially without training camp or anything, it's kind of like a grind for us fans to sit here and the Bears players we're very quiet. And that's another thing. The media disrespects the Bears. They very much so don't pay any attention to us. And I feel I'd rather they don't talk about us, because there's not much to talk about right now in terms of like league wide. I mean, we're pretty much a relevant team. If you look at last season, we're pretty much an irrelevant team. But here in Chicago, the excitement is brewing, and we don't want to get that overinflation of confidence and overinflation of media, that pressure, But it is frustrating in a sense, because it's not like they're not really looking at us. It's more like they're kind of disrespecting us, which I hope these it's lighting a fire under our it's definitely lighting a fire under our fan base, but these players, especially these new players, I want them to kind of like feel the history of being a Bear and what it means to be a Chicago Bear, and I want these guys to be proud of that history. We're one of the most storied franchises in NFL history, and yet we only have one Super Bowl to show for it. Now we have many championships before that, but I want these guys to come in and I want them to be proud to be a Bear. And I want them to have the media start talking about them. It all starts on the field. So that's those are kind of the things that I personally want going into the season, and how, I want this season to be like kind of like, oh shit, like the Bears are back. Are the Bears back? That's what I want. That's what I want the media to be like. Oh, we were not expecting that, because nobody really is. I mean, people are counting us out. People are counting Fields down. Some quarterbacks, I think Peyton Manning had like one of the worst statistical rookie seasons of all time. Could be wrong. But Peyton Manning turned out to be Peyton Manning. And now obviously that's an extreme case, but some of these guys, if they start out in a trashy system, and Fields only had like how many games did he start? Like 4, 6. He didn't even have time to have that conversation. So to for the media just to kind of bash us and write us off before things kind of are settled, I think it's a little bit ridiculous. And I want to see us come out there this next season and kind of like shock the media. And it's not all about the media. I want to see us go out there and shock other teams, because right now other teams are probably looking at us on the schedule like, oh shit, it's just the Bears, right? Just the Bears. Easy win, right off, right? No. I'm sick of that. I'm sick of that, and I want to see. We're not gonna go 17-0. We're not gonna go come close to that. We'll honestly be lucky to go 500, but I want to be competitive in games. I want to be competitive. I want our guys to play with heart, and I want to play with that GSH George Halas patch on. I want to see them respect that patch. I want to see them respect the history of the Bears, and this is because the future starts like right now. The future is going to start right now, and this is kind of like the most pressure that the Bears organization has felt in a while, because right now we're kind of on the brink of comeback or poverty. So we clearly want to come back. We want to be that comeback team, and we need to, because the NFL is just better when the Bears are good, and it's more exciting. And that might be coming from a biased Bears fan, but it's more exciting when the Bears are good. I feel like being one of the most storied franchises of the NFL. That's what I want to see this next season. And these guys, people think we don't have the talent. I think we have the talent. I think it doesn't, maybe not on paper. We don't have any huge names. But these guys, if they play with a sense of urgency and a sense of hunger, their appetite, they go out there and they really play with heart. I know you need talent to win games, but if you go out there and you play a little bit bigger than yourself, you play for the team, you can win football games. And that's where you attract the big names. That's where you attract the talent. It all starts with these guys. This is the first block in building a castle, building Rome. This is the first building block that we need here. We need to execute from the start. And it all starts in preseason. Actually, we have our first preseason game prime time against the Chiefs. And I know what you're thinking. The Chiefs, I mean, not the preseason. Who really cares about preseason? Starters don't play. Thing is, we had 11 draft picks that we need to evaluate their talent. And these guys, they better go out there and work their asses off in preseason, because their career at the end of the day, when you're a rookie, your career is on the line almost right from the start in preseason. So we have 11 of those guys to go out there and prove it. I think Fields is going to play in the preseason just to get a little more comfortable in the new passing offense with Getsy's offense. But and to be at a nationally televised game, obviously the Chiefs aren't going to be showing their start. I feel like none of their starters are going to play at all. Why would they, right? But we're going out there, and if these guys go out there and they have something to prove, that's what we kind of want to see coming from a preseason game. So the summer's dragging on a little bit, but you can't complain about the weather. You know, it's nice and hot out here in Chicago. football season brings the cold, which it's bear weather, but damn, it gets cold out there. So but it's nice that it's hot, nice summertime. But I honestly personally cannot wait for football season. I think it's going to be an exciting one. It's going to be, we're going to see what happens here, starting from preseason, starting from training camp. I want to see a sense of like serious like mentality. Like we're the underdogs. We're the underdogs of the league, and everybody knows it, and nobody talks about the Bears. Nobody cares about us. So let's give them a reason to care. Let's go out there. Let's go show them that the underdogs, sometimes they win. Rocky Balboa, right? Let's go be the Rocky Balboa. And we're even the Rocky won. He didn't win. He didn't win the fight, but he went the distance. Let's go the fucking distance. Let's go out there and let's show that we're not a dumpster team. We are one of the most storied franchises in NFL history. So let's go out there and play like one. Let's go out there and be that team. And I kind of want to run through a brick wall right now, personally. But I hope that kind sort of energy, that sort of sense of urgency and excitement comes with these players and this coaching staff. And I hope they have fun out there. I hope watching the games, you can tell that the guys like each other and they have fun. But those are the things that I am looking for going into this next season. Feel free to drop a like, drop a comment if you have any kind of like thoughts or hopes or goals for this next year, what you want to see, and hit subscribe. It's Bears only. We love talking about the Bears here. It's only going to get stronger from here, and it's only go Bears. So leave a like, drop a comment, and hit a subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.